it's Rachel and I'm here for a very, very late May stitching update. So everything was going really well, except I was really, really busy at work. So yeah, stitching took a bit of a back seat, and then I was really busy with garden stuff, and that's kind of very time sensitive, so I didn't get much stitching done during May. And then in June, same kind of story. So I'm going to do a May update and a June update and a July update sort of as quick as I can, because I'm off work now for the holidays. So I've got, well, 1 week's gone, I've got 5 weeks summer holidays from work, so I should be able to get lots done. There's still things need doing in the garden and around the house, but apart from that, I've got quite a lot of stitchy time to myself. So the reason I say it's a May update is because I'm kind of backtracking on the Magical Stitches challenges and making sure I get those done, and also my Whip Go challenges that I've missed as well. I missed quite a lot of them because I was doing the Fairytale Town challenge, which I don't regret doing at all because it's, I think, 70% done now. Still won't be finished this year, I don't think, unless I just work on that and nothing else. But anyway, the first thing I picked up then was my little work project. Should have been finished ages ago, but you know, it's getting there. So I've done, I think the chick was finished last time I showed it, but I've done some back stitching on him, including his little feet. I've done all this egg and all the work on the daffodil. So it's getting there. It will most definitely be finished this year, and I'll need to pick another digital pattern for taking to work in September. So I was thinking I might enlist some help on that to decide which one, and maybe put some pictures up of what I'm thinking about, but we'll get to that in due course. Then the next one I picked up was Parisian bicycle. So I've put in quite a lot on this piece in the last week. I used it for Magical Stitches, I think maybe 3 or 4 different prompts from May. I think one was a whip with words, I remember that one. I think I might have used it for penalty stitches as well, where I didn't have a project that fits. But I really enjoyed working on it, and I also did my Whip Go goal. So most of my Whip Go pieces are 3,000 stitches, so I put in 3,000 on this piece as well. So it is coming along nicely, and I really love this piece, I really do. And I'm super happy with, I dyed the fabric for this myself, which, yeah, you can kind of see. It's like a bluey green colour. It's very similar to the kit fabric, but the kit fabric is Ada. But I'm really happy with how it came out, and kind of wish I'd paid more attention to what colour combination I used when I did the dye, but I didn't, so probably never be able to create it again. Anyway, that's that one. And the final piece that I've worked on this week is Simple Treasures by Dimensions. So let's just lift that so we can see the top a bit more. This is getting so very close to a finish now. So I've just been working on the seahorse mostly, and some of this kind of coral around here as well. I'm just looking at the state of my fingers. I've been out in the garden this morning, so do excuse the state of my nails, but it's coming along. So I've done, I think, 600 stitches on this one actually in the last couple of days, and it also has been called on Whipgo, so it needs another 3,000 putting in. I'm not sure whether I'll stick with it now and do the 3,000 or get the rest of the May the May Magical Stitches prompts done, because I've got 1, 2, 3, I've got 4 to do, and then obviously as soon as I've done those 4 I can put the May video out, which will probably be in August. It doesn't matter. Anyway, this is the first clip, so I will leave it there because I've got a list of things to do today, and this one was on my list, so I've done it now. And I can get the rest of my jobs done and then carry on stitching. Alright, I'll see you in the next clip. Well, I'm back for the second clip. I've actually finished all the Magical Stitches challenges now for May, so only June, July and August to do. I think it's August the 2nd today. So I still have some catching up, but I've managed to do them all in a week, more or less, so that's not too bad. So the first one I worked on was Cute Witch. This is very close to a finish. It should have been done long ago. This is my oldest whip, which is what the challenge prompt called for actually. I think I started it in 2019, and all the rest of my projects, apart from Easter Chick, which I started this year, but everyone else was started in 2020. So they all should be done really. But so I worked on, I filled in some area on the pumpkin, I filled in some area down here, across here, and then I did some back stitching as well. So one side of his whiskers wasn't done, I can't remember which side. I did some back stitching down here, I did his little collar, a little bit further, and that little bit coming down, but he's really taken shape, and I think he has been called on Whipgo. I'm not sure actually, I need to check that. If he's been called on Whipgo, no, he can't have been called actually, because he's down for a finish and I would probably have carried on working on him. So yeah, that one's yet to be called. Then I worked on Fairytale Town, and I used this for a number of challenges, and then I started on my Whipgo stitches as well. So it's been called twice I think, or maybe even 3 times for Whipgo. In fact, yeah, 3 times, because the Whipgo numbers for August were both Fairytale Towns. That's 6,000 stitches I need to put in just for August, and 3,000 because it was called in another month. But I've done, after Whipgo, I've done I think about 1,800 stitches working on the bridge. I did these flowers here, they'd already been started, but some of the water filling in, filled in across here. So yeah, still making good progress. It's I worked out if I tried really hard to finish at the end of the year, I could, but I'd need to put in I think nearly 1,500 stitches a week, and if I do that I can't really work on anything else. So I think it's unlikely, but maybe if whilst I'm off work for the summer, I've still got another 4 weeks left, maybe if I can get a bit ahead on it, then maybe that might be possible if the stitch count was lower a week, but we'll see, because I've got plenty of other things that I'm doing apart from stitching over the holiday, plus I want to work on other projects, because obviously Fairytale Town was my focus project for the first half of the year, and it would be nice to work on some other things, because they're all, most of the things now are like really quite close to a finish, and I really want to have some finishes this year. That would be nice. I don't seem to have had a finish for ages. Anyway, The final one I worked on was Royal Holiday, and again, quite close to a finish now. The dress does go on forever. I only put 200 stitches in this, and yeah, I think again this one's been called Once on Whip Go, and I did do 1,000 of those stitches, but I don't remember whether I double dipped them or not, so I might just start the 3,000 again. And it's got 2 more times on the board where it hasn't been called, so it could be called September to December. But I don't think there's actually that many stitches left in it, because I've been using it for magical stitches, so it might get finished before then. We'll see. So that is everything that I've worked on. 6 projects in total for magical stitches to meet all the May challenges. And the other thing I've done is I was watching, who was I watching? Red's Stitchery. If you've not checked out that channel and you like my projects, you might like some of hers. I really like her channel, so I've been watching her while I've been stitching, and she has a video on Notion where I've seen or heard about people talking about it before, so I've actually gone ahead and set up a Notion page, and I'm busy trying to figure that out and enter all my projects into an inventory there, because the one I've got, I have one but it's all in PowerPoint, because that's what I know how to use, and I just do pictures on the slides. But yeah, that seems quite a useful little app. What I do, oh yeah, the whole point of mentioning that was, so I've watched a few videos, and some people on their Notion pages have got their projects automatically count and take away, you know, when a project's been finished, when you mark it as finished, it'll deduct it from the total of projects you've still got. I don't know if anybody else uses Notion or has a link to a video tutorial that shows you how to do that. If you have, or you know somebody who's got tutorials on Notion, who's a cross stitcher preferably, yeah, just let me know. That'd be great if you could. The only other thing to share is I might share some of my digital charts that I'm thinking of starting to replace my Easter chick when that's finished, because that will be finished really soon, I think. And then if there's any particular chart that you want to see me working on, then leave that in the comments as a suggestion. So yeah, let's have a look at that now then. Okay, I've just switched to filming on my phone rather than my iPad, so I can access my files, so it's probably a slightly different camera angle. Right, so it's so hard to choose. Right, so I could do a Halloween pattern, since when I go back to work it'll be September, and this is going to be for my work project. So I've shown these before. This one is a possibility, or this one. They're from the same designer. Then I have a Christmas one, which I think that'd be quite an easy one for work, for taking to work, because it's kind of a lot of actually I was going to say it's quite a lot of block stitching, but it looks like there's quite a lot of blends in there, so maybe it's not as easy as I thought, but I do like that one. It's really hard to narrow it down. Oh, one of the others that I had my eye on, let me just put it on so that view. this little fox I think is adorable. So there's a very strong possibility of the fox. Or this little dragon. So I think they're the ones that are in my top. I don't know though. I'll share, I'm probably not going to do this one at work, but I'm going to share this pattern. This is a fairly new one and I think it's gorgeous. But it's too big for work. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure it focuses very well when I'm showing it from my iPad, but that's a new one. And what else is new? This one, I don't think I've shared this one before. So that's a really nice one. That, I mean, that could be quite easy actually. That looks quite block stitchy. And this is new as well. I think he's really cute. But I think because of how dainty the flowers are and spread out, it might need a bit more concentration than I generally have at work. Anyway, I think that's, yeah, I think that's all of them. I don't think I've shared this one either actually. This is a nice pattern. That might be quite a nice one to do at work. It's very bright and colourful, but I'll probably change my mind on all of these obviously by the time I've finished the little chick one. But anyway, if anybody's got any thoughts as to any of those that you particularly like to see, yeah, let me know, leave me a comment. Alright, that's everything. I'm going to now upload this video and then get started on my June stitching, and then hopefully a week later you'll have another video, because I'm determined that even though the time has lapsed, that I am going to catch it up somehow. I think one thing that I didn't mention, which was a big reason for not keeping up with my stitching, is at the end of May my house was broken into, and it's just not nice when that happens, is it? So they stole my car. That was the big one. They broke in the house, got the keys, stole my car, stole my bank cards, my driving license, all my ID basically. So it was a little bit traumatic for a few weeks, not knowing how I was getting to work and having to rely on other people and phoning car insurance people and bank insurance and dealing with police and all that kind of stuff. And then I couldn't buy a new driving license because I had no bank cards, and I couldn't buy a car because I needed my driving license for photo ID, and it was just not a very nice time. So yeah, I think that's one of the reasons I didn't stitch very much as well. Anyway, everything's fine. I've got a new car. I've got CCTV now. It has cost quite a lot of money to get some extra security and things, and of course insurance doesn't pay the full value of your car, so all that. But I don't want to end the video on a low point, so I'm just going to say everything's fine. It's just one of those things. It shouldn't happen, but it does, and you know, life goes on, doesn't it? These things are sent to test us. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Happy stitching, and I will see you again hopefully in a week, maybe 2, but hopefully a week. All right, bye.